DeMarcus Cousins is parting ways with the Houston Rockets, and he will find himself as an unrestricted free agent, and he'll be able to sign with whoever he wants to. And for whatever reason, I find this very surprising, which I know I shouldn't because the Houston Rockets are rebuilding, but I didn't expect them to go so young. I thought even this season with the departure of James Harden, they would still stay relatively competitive. They would make things interesting, maybe sneak in as like a bottom 3 seed or something like that, because they do have Victor Oladipo and other good pieces. But I guess the Houston Rockets really do want to move in a direction where they're just rebuilding and they're starting with a younger core that they can really build around, giving minutes like Christian Wood more minutes. So it does kind of make sense from that standpoint to let DeMarcus Cousins walk, and you can free up some cap space, and then you can eventually build a better young core moving forward that could eventually win championships, because they did want to win championships with James Harden, but that just never worked out. Before we get into today's video, yo, what is up, guys? It is your boy, and I'm back here giving y'all another banger. And since I'm giving y'all another banger, if y'all could go ahead and drop a like on this video, it'd be much appreciated. And please subscribe if you enjoy basketball content. So according to Shams, DeMarcus Cousins has found his way out of the Houston Rockets because they have found a mutual way to depart from each other, and he is going to find a team in free agency during the buyout market or during free agency. So I gotta say, there are probably going to be a whole lot of teams that are going to be going after him. A few teams such as the Lakers, the Nets have already started to have some interest when it comes to DeMarcus Cousins, particularly the Lakers, because I know that they've already shown a little bit of interest, and there's already a little bit of history because DeMarcus Cousins was a Laker before he did tear his ACL in the preseason. So for this video, I kind of just want to focus on this from the Lakers side and think about how much sense does this make from the Lakers side if they want to sign DeMarcus Cousins, because we all know that the Lakers do struggle a little bit with size and they could use another big man, absolutely. But when we talk about big men, is DeMarcus Cousins truly the answer? And I know when you think about it, it's because it's like, if DeMarcus Cousins is a free agent and you have a roster spot, would you use that for DeMarcus Cousins? And I feel like the instinctual answer is just to say yes. Like, I would love DeMarcus Cousins on our team, but I do think that there are some factors that I think people should consider when it comes to DeMarcus Cousins. One of those factors is that DeMarcus Cousins really isn't the rim protector that you think he is. DeMarcus Cousins has never really been known for his defense, though he is a quality defender and he can, bother shots, he can change shots, but he's never really been known as a shot blocker or a rim protector throughout his entire career. He's more of an offensive sided center, which does have its benefits. Do not get me wrong. A player like DeMarcus Cousins can be very valuable, particularly in the playoffs, because he does have some of that experience already. But when we're talking about the Lakers in this instance, when we talk about big men, what we need is a rim protector, another big body, someone who can really control the paint and, change and alter shots that would make defenders think twice before entering the paint. And if we're being honest, that's just not DeMarcus Cousins, at least not this point in his career. Now, maybe if he does join the Lakers system, because they are a very defensively minded team, that could improve. So I might be wrong, but I just don't understand how he would fit into that system and how he would suddenly just become a rim protector out of nowhere. Another thing is that you can maybe just chalk this up to, it's a slow season and he's coming off injury, so he's not particularly playing his best, but he is missing a lot of shots at the rim. He is not shooting the best at the rim, especially for a center. I think he doesn't even rank in the top 10 or top 12. So you do hope that he does get better around the rim and that he does start shooting better from the field, because I believe for the season he's shooting 37%, which is extremely inefficient. You really don't want that from a guy who is going to be taking a lot of shots, because DeMarcus Cousins is naturally just going to get his shot ups. So you would really like to see that efficiency go up. But if you think about it, you can attribute some of that efficiency to the fact that he's playing for the Houston Rockets and they don't really have superstars or anyone else to take that focus off of him. So maybe if he does play with a player like LeBron James, he will get more open shots and he'll start shooting better from everywhere. So when you look at a player like DeMarcus Cousins, you start to ask yourself, okay, so what can he provide when it comes to a team? And the thing is that he can always provide is that his intellect is very high. I know it seems kind of weird when we talk about DeMarcus Cousins, because the one thing you don't really think about is basketball IQ, but DeMarcus Cousins is a very smart basketball player. He does know how to fit into a system. He knows how to set good picks. He knows how to do his role very well, and you saw that with the Warriors. He knew how to insert himself, and he never really was in the way of anybody, and he just filled in a role that you needed him to do. So it's not like DeMarcus Cousins is just no good. Absolutely not. He is a very good player. He can do very good things on a team, like pick and rolls or catching lobs, and even doing defensive rotations rotations, he's also pretty good at that as well. So I think there are many pluses that come to DeMarcus Cousins, and I don't even think that it would be a bad idea if the Lakers were to sign him. I think it would be very interesting, and I think that it's actually a very high possibility when you think about the history that LeBron and the Lakers have when it comes to their relationship with DeMarcus Cousins. And when you think about it, the Lakers are still in title contention, even with Anthony Davis out for a little bit. So if he really wants to win a championship, he could come join the Lakers and he could really solidify his legacy there. So when it comes to DeMarcus Cousins, I think that there's a lot of good, but I also think that there's some bad when it comes to it. I think some of this you can attribute to that he's in a bad situation, and some of it is just who he is as a player, who's just not a very defensive-minded person. And when you think about the Lakers, they do need a player that can rim protect to some extent. Now, if the Lakers can sign DeMarcus Cousins and then make a trade where they're sending like Alfonso McKinney or something and get another big man, I would also do that. But that's all what the Lakers have to do. I don't know what they're thinking or what their type of idea is right now. So you just have to leave it up to the Lakers to know what they're going to do and how they're going to figure this out. But go ahead and comment down below. What do you think about DeMarcus Cousins if you were actually able to come to the Lakers? Would you like it? Would you not like it for some of the reasons that I mentioned earlier? Where are you? If DeMarcus Cousins is available and he wants to be a Laker, do you sign him? I think that's a kind of an interesting thing to think about. Me personally, despite all the things that he does do a little bit wrong, I would still sign DeMarcus Cousins because he does have very high upside. I think that's the one positive going for DeMarcus Cousins, because he was an all-star at his very, very best. Do not forget how good DeMarcus Cousins was at his prime a couple of years ago. He was a beast. And I'm not saying that he's all of a sudden going to become an all-star again. No, but if he can just, give you 75% of what he was, that would be very valuable to the Lakers, especially at the big man position where they run a little bit thin. So if you think about the upside, I think that it is worth it and that the Lakers should go ahead and sign him if he has interest and they can, work things out. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. And please check out my other videos that I make, because if you enjoy basketball content, you would like my other videos. But without further ado, guys, I am out. Peace.